Coming to you from my basement in beautiful Chicago, this is LezCast. I am your host, Amanda Costner, and we are here today to discuss what may be the last LWordgenerationq episode to ever air. I know, tears, right? But first, I can't do this on my own. Joining me is someone who, in a way, was kind of in the finale herself. You know her from her L-Word TikTok videos or maybe from her YouTube channel, Nicole Reacts Up. Of course, all of this is linked in the description, so if you aren't, make sure you subscribe. Please welcome to the podcast, Nicole.
Hey, Amanda, thank you so much for having me. I'm real excited.
Thanks for joining. This is going to be a wild ride.
Hell yeah. This episode was a wild ride, yes.
Indeed. Now, for listeners who didn't watch all the way till the end, if you didn't know, Showtime gave us like a little thank you video in the credits, and Nicole is actually in that video. And I just really quick wanted to play, I clipped out your portion of the video so listeners can remember it. Here we go.
The first time I ever watched the L-Word, it was the first time that I felt I was watching something that represented me. Of course, thank you to the casting crew who worked tirelessly to put this show together for us.
You're famous.
I wouldn't go that far, but it was an honor to be part of that. It was an honor. I feel like a little piece of me is a part of I guess this L word or queer history, just a tiny piece. I'm happy with that tiny piece. That's fine by me. That's fine.
And giving a shout out to the cast and the crew, boss move, love it.
Yeah. I mean, they did their thing. They moved mountains this season, let me tell you.
If you're allowed to, can you give us an idea of how that like love letter video went down? Did somebody just reach out to you and ask you to film yourself?
Yeah, Showtime reached out to me a few months ago and asked if I could do a video and kind of gave me guidelines of what I should talk about and then really had free reign from there. So my video was a lot longer and of course they edited it to fit in the whole thing. But when I got that message to participate in this, I was like, this seems like the season's gonna that's it. Like this series is over. Like this is goodbye. But like I couldn't say anything, but I was like, I don't know if we're getting another season. Like they're saying their farewells and kissing me on the forehead goodbye. So I was like, okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's kind of how it went down.
Yeah, were you like, oh, should I be like, goodbye, show that I love? Can you guys
Can
give me a
I
hint?
sob? Can I fucking sob? Right? No, I was just like, it was just like, let us know what the L word means to you, and thank whoever is important to you on the show. I was like, okay, this is weird. They never did this before. All right.
Yeah, I do wonder who thought of that idea. I actually liked it. I didn't. I really. I mean, I'm not. You're obviously a part of it, but even if you weren't on the podcast, I would be saying like, "Oh, I enjoyed it," because, especially as you mentioned, it seems like this might be a goodbye. So, like, yeah, let's celebrate the show for its paving waves. Is that how you say that? Paving waves? I don't know.
Trailblazing, something like
Yes,
that.
that's
Something like that.
better.
I
More
mean,
appropriate.
yeah, it would be cool even if they had done this every season just to give like the fans a chance to, express how they feel because this show does mean a lot more to like LGBT people than just a regular show does to most people, right? It helps a lot of us kind of come out or feel seen and we have a very emotional attachment to this show. So I can understand why they would, expect fans to come out like this and make videos and stuff. But it does make it feel final, and I think a lot of the cast like also feels the same way.
Yeah, they're talking shit like it's final.
Well, did you hear the Pans podcast today?
I may have heard a little of it.
So we're not the only ones that feel that way. Let's just say.
Speaking of coming out, you went out to LA for the finale party this past weekend. What was that like?
It was crazy. I did go to the Henrietta one in New York. In New York, that it's every Friday. And then flew out Saturday morning. And then I was at the party at the Semi Tropic, aka Dana's, in LA on Sunday afternoon. I don't know if I've ever heard this word or I made it up, but I like to call it pure GAYHEM. It was absolutely fucking insane. It was probably a fire hazard, if I had to guess, and also, I'm 95% sure my hair caught on fire.
Yeah, that's definitely a fire hazard.
There was candles, like, behind our table, and then all of a sudden, like, the episode starts, and I smell fire, and everybody starts looking in my direction. I'm like, "You smell that?" Yeah, and then there's a can I'm like, "I think that was my hair." It was just wall to wall bodies, lesbians, um, there was, just so many people there, and it was just out of fucking control, but so much fun, and I'm excited to have just also been a part of that, like, another piece of queer history in the
That
books.
sounds amazing. I'm so jealous. I wish I could transport myself to the middle of that wall of lesbian bodies, and just feel the energy in that room. Were you able to see any, like, of the cast?
Yeah, 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 so I was the first one in line there, so I actually got, like, to pick where I wanted to sit, and it was in this, like, booth or, like, couch section, and then the next couch section over was the VIP. So,
Oh,
I got to, like, meet a bunch of them that did come over, like, Simon, who plays, Hendrix,
yes, I saw
and,
he was there.
the girl who plays Bella, I think her name is Sari or Sari, not sure. Heidi came, who plays Misty, came over, they were really nice. Um, Jacqueline and, like, Paula kinda stayed on the other side, and Tess. Jamie Clayton came
Jamie?
by. Jamie was over, but, like, she wouldn't look over. She was just getting her life dancing. So I was like, "Girl, do
Really?
you. Do
Okay.
you, girl." So it was a good time. I mean, they were all there. I felt really bad for Laurel. Oh my god.
Why were people mobbing her?
God. She came in after everybody. She came in after the episode was over, and it was just, like, swarms of people moving. You could see, like, the amoeba walking through, and then,
Mhm.
like, 5 minutes later, she walks the fuck out and she escapes, and, like, I don't fucking blame her. I was like, "Bro, that was bad." It was very musky in there. It was just a lot. It was bad.
She was gonna be just getting proposed to left and right,
Yeah.
and
So,
yeah,
yeah. And then, like,
okay.
clowns, we all waiting for JB and no sign of her. No sign of her anywhere.
Yeah, that one didn't work out. Maybe she saw what happened with Laurel and noped out.
That's what people are saying. Like, she had to have thought of coming or, like, attempted and then been like, "Actually, fucking no." Because I know she's just very, like, a quiet person. She doesn't like big crowds and,
Yeah.
so it's not her thing.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we do have some crazy fans, but it sounds like it was, like, a good time.
It was good time. It was good. I think, for the most part, everybody was behaved. Um, everybody's real cordial with each other, real having a good time. Every time I had to walk through the crowd to go across the bar, like, everybody was real nice to everybody. So it was a good time. Lovely party.
No drunken brawls, no arm
Mm,
wrestling contests broke out.
mm. I plead the 5th. I plead
Okay,
the 5th.
got it.
There was something interesting, but it's
We'll
all
leave
good.
some stuff in the floor of the
Yeah,
semi-tropic.
yeah.
Okay.
What happens there stays there.
Well, before we jump into the finale, real quick, also in the description will be a link to Nicole's merch shop. She's got L Word products, the lesbian urge to merge stickers, t-shirts. So check that out.
Thanks.
Let's jump into this finale. We have a ton of stuff to discuss. Right off, we start off at the wedding venue, which Danny procured for them. A reminder that her family is loaded.
It's good to have rich friends. Or to be rich and have rich friends also that can be like, "Oh, can I borrow your chateau for the weekend?"
Good to be
"Oh, which
loaded, right?
one? Which one?"
Some people online were saying that that was supposed to be Roxy's family's property.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I watched the episode 3 times. How did I miss that?
She says it very quickly to Sophie when they're walking in. She's like, "Everybody did a little something. I got the place." And then Sophie says, "Who owns this place?" And then that's when Roxy comes, she's like, "D-Bag." So,
So it's like inferred that it's Roxy's.
well, yeah, yes.
Okay. Okay, got it. So Roxy's loaded too.
They're loaded, but they have the door to the refrigerator is busted, so
Right?
maintenance is not up to par.
What's going on there? Come on. Just beautiful. They spent all the money on the plants behind in that wall. They
They
couldn't keep the upkeep.
The place is beautiful other than that. I'll say. Good job.
Yeah. I was looking at pictures actually before the finale a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Okay, this is amazing.
Yeah.
This looks awesome."
Well, what do you expect from Bette and Tina? Nothing
Yeah.
less than a
Wha
chateau.
Yes, beautiful place. Yeah, they would, right?
Yes.
Well, we really opened the lesbian or sorry, yeah, we really opened the lesbian up. That's what this is, just a giant
That was me last night. Okay. How did you know? Oh, man.
Well, a perfect, segue into our, opening scene here in the bathroom, which is a lesbified version, in my opinion, of the opening scene to, like, Bridesmaids, that kinda
Oh,
goofy sex
yes.
scene. Actually, there were a lot of things about this episode that reminded me of Bridesmaids,
Oh, I never really made that connection. I can't wait to hear.
just with the meltdown and stuff. What did you think,
Yeah.
what do you think of the return to, old Shane?
I mean, we never left, did we? Like, I think we left old Shane, like, briefly in season 2 when her and Kiara were like, "Let's have a baby," and then that didn't work out, and then she was, like, back to her old ways. Yeah, I know she, like, been with Tess for a little while, supposedly, but, like, she was even cheating on Tess, so I don't know. I guess people are bored of it, people are angry that, like, she's made no progress, but I guess that's just her. Maybe that should just be her.
Yeah, it's a polarizing situation. You're right. Half the fan base wants her to like mature, or not even mature. I think a lot of people are like, just have her be poly, have her recognize
Right.
she wants to sleep with different people. And I'm with you. When Ivy came in and that whole stuff went down, I was like, I'm here for this. This is our lesbian soap opera. And Shane was so boring last year. She had no storyline, and so this while it's nothing new, I admit it, the stuff with the wedding planner was so fun and
It was.
funny.
It was way more fun than, like, I don't know what her and Tess were doing all year, playing house.
Spending a whole episode on the balcony. They don't know how to get it, how their own balcony doors work.
I never seen Shane so fucking miserable in her life. Like, I was surprised. I was waiting for her to jump off of that balcony because I was about to. I was like, "Yo, if Tess asks why one more time, I swear to God." She was like, "Harvey, Ellen." Like, any more problematic people you can call off your balcony, Tess? Jesus Christ.
Okay. So do you think any of the I was wondering if some of the lines were improvised with the wedding planner, if that was all written.
Well, I did hear Pan's podcast. They said most of them were that she only actually had one line the whole episode.
Okay, see, I only listened to part of the I only just started to listening to that. So, oh, this is some good tea.
Yeah, so apparently her only line was supposed to be something in the bathroom, like one line. But everything else was improv and they loved her and they're like, she's so funny. And
Wow.
so
That's awesome.
she did a fantastic job. She was hilarious.
Okay, I don't know who that actor is, but she's like if she was only supposed to have one line, she's like one of the stars of the episode.
She fucking killed it, man. And she made it
Wow.
to the cut. Like
Yeah.
that's I feel
Wow.
like is a hard feat in this season too. Like
Mhm.
everybody's like there's a lot of left on the cutting room floor and she made it.
Mhm.
She was a breakout star, you're right.
What did you think about the way that they cut back to Micah and Maribel throughout the episode?
Um so uncohesive to like what was going on. Like we have like on one hand we have this like really important wedding that's like 20 years in the making that everybody's waiting for and then you have like these characters that like they're just kind of they should have closed this story up last episode, right? This should have
Mm.
been tie up your loose ends and let us just focus on one thing. But it's like one thing has nothing to do with the other and it's just like so fucking weird. I thought it was weird.
It was really intense. Yeah, I thought it was like it was interesting for them as a couple, but they've been all over the place as a couple also because we never know anything about them. And we really have never learned much about Micah. And it's interesting that they get a lot of the finale, but then as a whole, I'm left wondering, like, oh, does he not have a personality?
It's going to bed at 9, and That's it, that's it. And letting, like, Maribel walk all over him is one of his favorite hobbies, but you know what? I was honestly so proud of him for standing up. She was shocked when he's like, "You can't treat me like this." She said, "I can't? What do you mean?" Like, she was bamboozled, and she was, speechless, and I was so proud of her. I was like, for once, I fucking was rooting for him. I was like, "Thank
Yes,
God."
I was proud of that too. He stood up for himself.
Amen. Put
Now,
his
if we
soul
get a
out.
4th season, I wanna see Micah let loose. I wanna see some fun. But that wouldn't happen, I guess. There'll probably be a 4th season.
You'd be like, "Guys, 7 p.m. Well, time to call it a night." I don't know. Let me go back and I want to ask your opinion because I felt like they were hinting at something with Max a few episodes ago. And people don't agree with me, but I was like, it kind of felt like he liked Max and like I don't know. I kind of felt like he was
Like,
flirting with Max.
romantically?
Yeah,
But
I was like,
Max
I
is
wouldn't
so
be
happily
surprised.
married.
I know, but you know this show. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if they start fucking. Like, I wouldn't. I thought that's where this was going, and then we never saw Max
No!
again.
No, no, you can't do that after showing us that beautiful, happy family with no.
I don't wanna break them up, but, I don't want a lot of
You're
things,
right,
and
though.
they came into our lives, right? So, I don't have much of a say. But no, that's kinda where I thought they were going. So then it was interesting to me that they bring him back to Max, and I was like, "Oh, are they setting up for what I thought they were setting us up for before? Let's see if we do get a season 4,
We'll see.
we'll
I
see."
thought we were gonna get to see Max in this episode because I had heard rumors that we were gonna see OGs in the finale.
Well, we got, Bette and Tina. Kate and, Alicia were in it, and, that was it, right?
Yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
got, that was pretty much the accurate
My
statement.
fantasy was Helena, her
I know.
mom, maybe Max, I guess, but
I was hearing, like, "Prepare yourselves, you're gonna be blown away." Like, I'm thinking they're bringing Pam Grier back as Kit's relative or something, like, I was
oh,
prepared for, like, impressive stuff,
and
so
the crowd went mild. We're like,
Come on! You're not
"Ah!"
impressed with G-Flip?
Well, she's an OG,
Yeah, in a way. She's
I
a kind of an
suppose.
OG. She is a G. She's
Yes.
got the G part.
Very random. I actually didn't know who those 2 were. I've never seen that show, but, the lesbians let me fucking know immediately. I got
Okay.
I got the explanation, the Wikipedia definition very quick.
They were popular when you were watching it in the bars?
I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, like, when you were watching at Semi-Tropic or at Henrietta's, were people, like, cheering when
Oh,
they
yeah, yeah, a lot of people
Okay,
know who they were. I just
okay.
didn't, but they put me on, so
I heard of G-Flip, because I don't know, I think another YouTuber told me about G-Flip. So I had heard of but I didn't know her, like, by face, and then for sure didn't know Chrishell, but,
same. I was like,
yeah.
I guess I'm excited for y'all. But I did actually get to meet them this weekend, and
What?
they're both real fucking nice, yeah.
So they were at the Semi-Tropic too?
They were there, yeah, and they
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I thought you
cool.
knew that there.
No, I saw some people's social media, but I didn't know. I probably forgot that I saw them there.
Got you. They were, like,
Oh,
sitting with, like, Fletcher and, like, Jacqueline
that's
Taboni.
right. Okay. Yeah.
All
Okay.
the women
Oh, all
celebs.
the cool
Mhm.
lesbians. Yeah, I was definitely thinking we were gonna get at least one OG. It surprised me that we didn't.
Well, lately, I'm hearing how expensive this show is to make, so maybe it's a budget thing.
Yeah.
Um, well, I guess Rose Rollins counts, right? Tasha?
Ah, Tasha's debut was episode 9.
I
It
know.
would have counted
Mhm.
if she didn't debut in episode 9.
But at least Pippa was there, which made total sense. Girl didn't even wanna come out to eat dinner with Bet. Like, she was stuck in her garage for 15 years, and now all of a sudden she's gonna go to her ex's wedding, who they just broke up, like, recently? I don't fucking think so.
They
But
did that because people were pissed that they sent Pippa to Africa.
it's terrible. That's who she went to Africa? Oh, South
Yes!
Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But
So
I feel like they could have, I don't know, had a better storyline to bring her back. Like, she would not fucking go to Bette's wedding.
No. No.
That's like Carrie coming. Like, imagine? It would have been Test
I'm
2.0.
surprised they didn't get Carrie in there.
There's enough cake to put on everybody. We can smash it all over everybody. Speaking of which, they had a cake at the Semi-Tropic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they didn't cut it, so I was super disappointed. It's like
Did
a
you
big
say was that you that said they tried to give it to you?
Oh, yeah. When I got online, they were like, "Are you can I give you this cake?" And I was like, "No, I mean, you could, but, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that." I was like, "No, no, no, the party planner's inside. She'll be right out."
Okay.
Um, but I will say I did stick my finger in it and gave it a taste later on in the party, and I'm glad I did because we never got to eat it.
And it was good?
It was cake, I guess, yeah. They did give us cupcakes, which everybody got to eat, so I guess that was, like, our consolation. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I never know what to do with sweets, when I'm drinking because I feel like that's, like, a dangerous mix.
Oh, I needed it. I was there for, like, 17 hours. That place was open all fucking day, and I didn't eat. I was like, "Can I get 2 cupcakes, please?"
Okay, so you're using the cake to soak it up.
Yes,
Got it.
yes, yes.
Okay.
That's how we do.
Well, back at the wedding, we get a little scene about Tina having hot flashes. I did notice, I think at some point you were talking about not necessarily appreciating the way Bette and Tina were dressed in
Oh,
these particular scenes.
the Golden Girls?
they
What the
don't
fuck was Bet wearing?
they don't look like
Never.
grandmas. They look like great grandmas.
Bet looked like she was sitting in a rocking chair before we came in, knitting knitting what she was wearing because she had, like, this long cardigan and her hair was, like, down. That's not she's, like, business chic at all times, like, no matter what. It's like a blazer, a jacket, some pants, some boots, like, I don't know what therapy or Canada did to her, but she needs to come back to fucking LA because it's not the tea, it's not it. Mm-mm.
Maybe up in Canada, all the hot, ladies are wearing all the hot lesbians are wearing vanilla cardigans.
Well,
Gotta stay warm.
it is cold in Canada, it fucking truly is, so maybe she's just keeping warm.
Maybe all there is like coals up in Canada. It's all she could get.
I don't I was thinking COAL. I'm like, "The fuck?" Yeah, Kohl's. She's got her Kohl's cash. I can tell
She had to spend it.
she's been spending her Kohl's cash.
You
And
can't you can't
she's
let
been
that burn a
spending
hole.
she's been spending on Tina too, the 2 of them. I mean, but I expected for Tina because she's had, like, her frumpy, like, phases. Even, like, in the first season when she was, like, trying to get pregnant, I remember, like, she tried to wear, like, her pajamas to dinner with Bette's dad, and Bet was like, you're changing, right?" And she was like, "No, this looks great." That's the kind of Bet that I need, like,
Right?
take care of the wardrobe situation.
Yeah. I agree with you there. I agree
Yeah.
with you. And then we can talk about Tina's maroon wedding blazer later. Because oh my god. Alice learns she was supposed to get the alcohol. Now, okay, I'm okay suspending disbelief.
Well, we
They
have to, like, every time. But yes, continue.
they obviously need some way to get Tess there because the big sort of shebang of the episode is Tess's, meltdown.
Mhm.
But I mean, I just planned a wedding a year ago. Okay. Booze is like the number one priority. You talk
Mm.
about it constantly, how much you're gonna it is a huge thing. It's not just like, oh yeah, and you're in charge of the booze. Because it's like such a big factor as far as will people dance and stuff like that.
Of
So
course.
I was suspending a lot of disbelief here.
Well, besides that, then, like, the only person in the world that we can call is Tess.
Right?
There's no such thing as a liquor distributor or a liquor store or Shane going her fucking self and picking it. No, the only person in the world to call is Tess. I'm sorry, you're gonna do it.
Like Shane owns Dana's. She would know distributors.
Several people that would fucking come like that for her. But yeah, I guess we had to have Tess in the room, and then
Yeah.
that also brings Finley, right? So
Yes, and then it takes them, like, 7 hours to unload. Finley's still working by the end of the night. So
she's working and begging for toasters, which was like, if some my ex came to a wedding that I was attending and started asking me for appliances that she didn't pay for, I'd be like, "Can you fucking think of any other time to have this discussion?"
But the Finley lovers, they're listening to this right now. They're going, that's what makes her so lovable because she's such a goofball who comes to the wedding and asks you for her toaster back.
I guess. I think, bless Jacqueline Taboni because you're given what you're written, and you read the lines that are on the paper. Um, Finley could have been way more lovable if she didn't do like some of the things that she's done, like in last season or but yeah, I can see why people love her and like you want to root for her, but then it's just like it's always like one step forward, 10 steps back with her. And it's like I can't get on board anymore. I'm like this roller coaster. I'm already on the Bette and Tina roller coaster. Like I can't get on another ride right now. So
Yes, you've been through so much. I hear you. A question.
yes.
When you have an impromptu hookup, do you like double check your outfit like before you reemerge to society, or do you just come, walking out to the world like, yeah, I'm getting some world, be jealous?
Um Well, I have not been in such a situation in a very long time. I've been with my wife for 11 years, but if I can try to rewind 400 years before this, I mean, yes, I would hope so. But I guess if you're, well, no, they're not drunk.
No, they're like
There was
pretty
no
sober
booze.
right now.
There was no
Yeah.
booze. Yeah, like fix yourself. Make sure your lips are not showing. Um, Tits are all in place and hair is where it needs to be. Especially if you're the wedding planner. I mean, I feel like you don't have time for this.
That's what I'm
Which
saying. I think sometimes people do this and they're like, oh, oops, I forgot. But really, it's like, I'm hooking up. That's what's going on with my life,
oh shit, I'm on the clock. Let me
Yeah.
they're calling me. Um, yeah, the worst wedding planner in the world. But with the best lines. She had the best
Yeah.
lines. She's like, "We've got a
Funny.
wobbler. We've got a wobbler."
I feel like this show has a thing for wedding planners because they made such a big deal out of it in that one episode where they mentioned that movie over and over.
Yes. If we had a drinking game, I'd be fucking wasted from hearing not a word or a phrase that I thought we'd be hearing this season, but here we are.
Yeah, here we are. I know you're big on the outfits. What did you think of Sophie and Danny's outfits?
Oh, they looked fabulous. And, like, I'm ready to tell any of these characters they look horrible, like Alice's dress, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But, no, I think Danny looked great. She had this, like, I don't even know what that color is. It's kinda like goldish orange.
Yeah, it looked good
Oh,
on
she
her.
looked great. Her hair was down. She didn't have a middle part, which she, like, always used to have, and they really fixed that. And Sophie looked amazing.
Yeah, the
She
one
looked
shoulder
so
showing. Yeah.
she's like single Sophie is ready for the world. Like, she can take over the world when she's not busy babysitting. So,
Yeah, I
I
love
think she
single
should
Sophie.
yeah, she could be single for a while. If we do get another season, I would like to see her just working and stuff. I don't know.
Maybe we would get that because I don't know if they could get Vanessa Estelle Williams to commit to a whole season. Maybe they could though.
The L word anyway is gonna give us, like, something that was, like, supposedly meaningful and then be like, "Oh, yeah, like, he sent me a box of pens."
Nothing we saw will matter if we get a fourth.
No.
Yeah, he said
They they love to, like, in one sentence, try to explain a whole year's worth of
Yeah.
drama and then be like, "That's why she disappeared."
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
oh. So
Also, I liked Roxy's button up, with the
oh, I
rose on
loved
it.
it.
I
I
thought that
loved
was
that.
awesome.
I love a good colorful all I like to really wear is, like, colorful jackets and shirts, so, like, I wanted to steal that. I would've stolen that if that
Me
was given to
too.
me.
Me
Would've
too.
robbed.
That's a good one. Almost immediately after Roxy arrives, Roxy is handing Danny Molly, which when I saw this, I was screaming. That is not how you do that.
Well, we don't know much about Roxy, right? We know that she's very impulsive and can't
Mhm.
stay in one place, so it's on brand. The Molly at a wedding is on brand.
But, like,
Um,
should you wait at least till night?
as somebody who's never done Molly, I don't know. Do you wait till night?
Yes,
It's a nighttime drug?
it is basically ecstasy. you're just it's like actually, I thought Ari Mandy did a really accurate
Oh,
job
she's
portraying when
fantastic.
she was just, like, dancing. That is, like, basically what it would be like because, yeah, you're, like, club you're it's, like, high
We
energy.
we had the Kenny G playing in the background. She was sweating for life. She was
But Roxy, the experienced partier, should know, you know, we don't wanna do this if we were gonna have theoretically, they were supposed to sit through a wedding at some point. Um
Well, she's spontaneous and she's exciting, I guess. I guess that's what they were trying to go for. I feel like they were trying to, like, give, like, a big juxtaposition between, like, Dre and Roxy, right? And, like, "Oh, look at the crazy one, and look at the one with, like, the head on her shoulders." I don't know. I don't know.
Who are you team Danny and Roxy, or are you team, uh, I think I was calling them Dranny?
Yeah, I
Dre
heard
and
that one.
Danny, anyways.
That one scares me. Um, that name is too close to a word that is no longer acceptable to say, so I'm gonna call them.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Okay.
I was like,
No, good point.
Dre and Danny, I feel like both. I was thinking about this today. I was like, which one do I ship more? But, like, honestly, I don't know. I don't know enough about either of them. But if I had to, like, shift somewhere, I would say maybe Roxy because they're, like, family friends and they've known each other for a long time. But then also, like,
Yeah.
she brings Molly to weddings, so I don't know. To
See,
each their own.
I'm down with that because I'm down with Danny going crazy, having fun.
Honestly, that was amazing. That was probably one of, like, the funniest parts of the season, and she had throughout the whole season, Danny had the best facial expressions. I'm going to make a compilation because every episode, she just had some of the greatest little 10-second, just not even 1-second faces. She was she deserves an Emmy.
Okay, yeah, make sure, listeners, people watching right now, make sure you subscribe to Nicole Reacts Up on YouTube so you can get that compilation video. I'm looking forward to that one. That'll be
Thanks.
funny. Yeah, I think Danny has a little bit more chemistry with Roxy, but you're right. I was like, feel my wife, we were talking about, which couple we liked more, and she was like, I don't know. Do you really believe like it's like we go from Danny and Gigi, who obviously was one of the most popular couples on the show, maybe the most popular couple of the show. We go from that to like, oh, we're believing actually the whole time Roxy was the love of Danny's life, like this childhood best friend.
Out of
Ugh,
nowhere. Yeah.
totally out of nowhere.
Yep. What I think that, Danny and Sophie both see in Dre is that the urge to create, right? The creation, like, they're a writer, and, Sophie was, she was making a documentary, or she was supposed to, and that
Mhm.
was something that Dre remembered and was like,
Right.
I think that what they both get from Dre is kind of like this, like, passion for something, right? And then I think what Danny's getting from Roxy is just, like, exciting, fiery, sexy, Molly, rich, and history. You guys have a history together, right? You
Mhm.
grew up together, your moms were best friends. So, I think I can see why she's pulled by both. I don't think Dre is as random as people make them out to be. Um, but
Okay, so you're into Dre as a character?
oh, yeah, for sure. I think that, if we do get a season 4, I would definitely like to see, like, where their character goes, and this love triangle is perfect. Perfect lesbian drama.
Okay. I do like love triangles, especially ones like this, as opposed to like I wasn't as into like I don't know if it was, but like when Finley, Danny and Sophie were a little bit of a triangle, that was like hard because I wanted them all to be like good friends to each other.
Yeah.
But like this type of love triangle, yeah, this is like this I can get into. This dramatic moment, I was a sucker for like Danny, Dre busting Danny making out with
You're a
Roxy.
sucker for that? That's your
Yes!
thing? That's your thing?
I
Okay.
mean, the drama, yeah, come on, if I like the L word, you gotta like a little drama.
You better. You better. You better love drama, you better love things that don't make sense. Just all kinds of shit.
Now, we get a lot of these, the footage of the triangle and stuff, at least partly because for the first half of the episode almost, Bet and Tina are going to end up locking themselves in the walk-in fridge. How did you feel about this decision?
Um, I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it before. Like the first two things that came to mind was like I Love Lucy. She gets stuck in a freezer. And then I remember an episode of like That 70s Show. They get stuck in a freezer. I remember these two things. So I'm like, okay, how? It's just kind of like a trope, right?
Mhm.
Um, what purpose did that serve for the story? To get Tasha there? Was
I
that
mean, it's
it?
not even that realistic. I feel like they could have done something else to get, the hot
Right.
fire ladies there.
So, was it to get Bet to freak out? I was just kinda wondering what was the purpose of this.
Yeah, I have mixed emotions. I thought, okay, we got some really great moments. My favorite moment of the episode probably is when Alice runs up to them and doesn't know initially and is like, "Busted! Doing it in the walk-in!" And she's, like, smiling and Shane's there. I loved that moment, and then I think what a lot of people would agree is, like, kind of the most exciting moment of the episode when Bet's like, yells at Alice, "You get Tasha on the fucking phone," or whatever she says. I think I have it written down
Ooh,
somewhere in my notes.
that was
Yeah,
hot.
so
I
hot.
w that's what gets me going,
Yeah.
let me tell you.
So
That
I have all these good things to say about it, and then I
Okay.
turn around and go, "Oh, it was bad decision on them to keep them away from everybody else and lock them in the fridge." So are we being too hard on them? Is there nothing that will please us as fans?
Yes, but, um, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. What do we want, really? I don't even know what it is that we want. So maybe, yeah, we're just being pains in the asses.
I think for me it was, "Oh, I thought first of all, Bet and Tina leaving for 6 episodes, I thought, "Okay, when they come back, it's gonna be the Bet and Tina show." It wasn't in episode 9, fine. I thought for sure in episode 10, it will be the Bet and Tina show, and it really wasn't. Like, it was really they got sort of a normal amount of screen time, but not as
Mhm.
much as I would have thought for, like, it being the last time we ever see them for sure.
Yeah, I think that, like I said, if we could have wrapped up the Micah and Maribel story like an episode before, we can get a lot more screen time for them and try to like, we did get like good like goodbyes from Bet and Tina, and like when they were speaking about, oh, we got married at City Hall and our friends were mad at us, but they've been on this journey with us. They were talking about the fans, right?
Mhm.
That's exactly what they were talking about, and I really liked that. It might have been a little corny, but I appreciated it, and we could have got some more, like, moments like that, where they're just kind of, like, really saying their goodbyes forever, because that's probably what it is, and, yeah, we coulda had more time with them for sure.
Yeah, some fans were mad about, like, specific, editing decisions, like cutting away during the vowels to people clapping and, like, super small
Yes.
details like that.
Yes, yes.
I do have to say the fan base has a portion of it that are not to betters, that aren't here for the Ben Tina show, and so in that instance, for instance, if you're just a fan of Gen Q, which I believe there is a significant portion of the fan base that didn't watch the OG, which is, like, crazy for me to think
That's
about.
weird, I don't know.
It
I don't
is
know.
weird, but I've been told this is a thing, and so
Okay.
I know, it's like it's hard to, like, check those statistics, but
No, I've met people.
you
I've
have
met people,
okay,
like, at the bars that, like, "Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I haven't seen the original, but I watched
yeah.
this one. I don't like it." I'm like, "Well, that makes fucking sense." Like, you don't have any idea who these people are, so or what they're
So for
about.
those people, maybe they're like, "Why are these fans upset with Ben and Tina?" I had people comment on my reaction video. I thought Ben and Tina got a perfect amount of screen time.
Interesting. People could be wrong. Um, yeah, I think that if you liked, if you followed Bet and Tina since, like, the beginning, like, since 2004, you have an emotional attachment to these people, right? And so but if you don't know these people and all you know is, like, the last 3 years of them, then, like, what do you fucking care that they're getting married or divorced or whatever? Nobody cares, right? So, I can understand, why you wouldn't care, like, or why you wouldn't see the significance, but then you should watch the original and understand what we've all been put through, all the
Understand
suffering.
what we've had to go through.
Yeah, do you know how many years of therapy these bitches put me through? Dan Foxworthy
had
is
to
not
walk
cheap.
Yeah, we had to walk 9 miles up a hill in
No
snow and
shoes.
ice with no shoes watching our original L Word.
In the closet.
But you were asking earlier, like, what could they have done with it? Maybe they couldn't have done anything more with them because they really weren't a part of this show anymore after season 2. They literally moved to Canada and left Angie and, sort of exited. And so having them come back in, it was great for us fans, but, you know, maybe this was all they could do, which is why they ended up doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Laurel Holloman's schedule is pretty tight, and, so I guess we're lucky that we got her at all to have this moment, and, like, ultimately, I know that the, reception of this episode was not met with a lot of happiness and positivity. I didn't feel that way, I was just more like, "We got it, like, what more could you fucking really ask for?" Like, they're married, the end. Like, as far as I'm concerned or, like, that I've heard, it wasn't supposed to be that, and Jennifer Beals fought hard for that storyline. So we could have been left real fucking disappointed. And then what? Then we'll all be bitching for real, for real. But like they got married. Now we can like close that book, chapter in her head. They're together forever, the end.
Yeah, I kind of forgot to I usually ask, I think up top, like, "Oh, did you think this was good, bad?" Before we jump in. So you're saying like, "I enjoyed this. You were satisfied with the episode."
It was. The episode was. I wouldn't say like it's good or bad. It just was. Um, and I'm just happy that they got married, right? And I'm happy that Micah stood up for himself.
Yes.
That was exciting.
I'm gonna go. So I had a crazy thing happen all year. I've been pretty critical of the show. I mean, all of us have.
Mhm.
And my wife has been like super, positive Polly, you know, everybody's too hard. Like this is our show. This is our women loving women community, our queer community show. We're getting all this great representation. It's a high budget, you know. And then the finale hits, and I'm like fairly high after the finale. And my wife was like, "Oh, I'm underwhelmed. I'm a little disappointed with Bette and Tina, and I thought it was meh." So she was actually down on the finale, even though she's been high on the season all year.
Interesting.
Yeah, but like I said, I thought so much happened that I was like, "Yeah, this had the excitement of a finale."
For sure. And we've got like a lot of the storylines closing, right? Like Alice's storyline, like, okay, her person, because Dana said her soulmate was this person. Oh, found her, they're together, or they're gonna be together. Mike and Maribel, not having a baby. Thank God. Bet and Tina, married. And there's other storylines there that were left open. So it was kind of like we could end it here or we could continue.
Mhm.
Let us know, Showtime. So,
Yeah, I'm
but it's
sure.
interesting that your wife enjoyed the whole season and thought it was great, and then thought that was what the hell did she want to happen? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
What was
I don't
she
know
expecting?
if she I don't know. I should ask her, but I think it was a little bit of the she's like a Ben Tina fan. I think it was a little underwhelming from that standpoint.
I feel you. Yeah, there could have been more. There could have been more of them.
Okay, so we've kind of jumped around all the way here.
That's my bad. I'm
No, no,
sorry.
I love it. Let's do it. It's the finale. There's no rules, okay?
That's true.
We might be recapping the last
Stop.
I can't help it.
My heart can't take it.
The last ever.
I can't
Let's
remember being this sad in like 2009 when we really had like the last episode of the OG. Like, how did we survive? We just let
see,
that happen?
I didn't have to go through it. I came out late in life and
Oh,
I didn't watch the show live as
mm,
it was airing. I don't think I was out then. I was I was deep
oh,
in the closet.
okay. Well, it was a fucking ride, just like this one.
I
Being
imagine.
being a teenager with like not so many like things developed in the frontal lobe area, like lots of feelings, lots
Yeah.
of feelings.
Yeah, that last episode was much crazier than this, believe it or not. So
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
comparing the two, okay. Yeah.
Mhm,
A
mhm.
little bit less crazy. Speaking of crazy, Shane runs into Tess at the wedding.
Ooh.
And can I just say Tess looked so hot in this episode for me,
She looked beautiful. She looked gorgeous.
which not to totally turn a positive into a negative, but it kind of reminded me like what they've kind of been dressing her frumpily all season. Like this was
I I liked this dress. I thought it could have been a little bit more form-fitting, but I mean, I don't even know, like, if that matters, but she did look beautiful. Her hair was on point, makeup was on point.
and she had that attitude. She was kind of like, "Oh my god," she was over everything. Or
That
that might
shit
just
was funny. You're so predictable. I was like, "That's a fucking fact."
I
She
know, right?
really is.
I
You can
died when she was like, "Does anybody here wanna be Shane McCutcheon's next conquest?"
It
She
was like
flipped.
Mean Girls. If anybody
Yeah.
here has been personally victimized by Regina George, me.
Um, at first, I think we're about to learn that Tess is bi, but no, instead we learn Tess has amazing cocaine-dar?
What the
Cocaine-dar?
fuck? Well, yeah, one of my friends, at Henrietta said, like, "How the fuck does she know that he has cocaine?" And I was like, "It's just like a service industry trope, like that everybody does it, you know? That's just like a thing that I mean, people say that everybody does like drugs when they're on the wait staff, so I guess Tess took a shot and she was fucking right. That
I
gamble paid
mean,
off.
she took all the cocaine, like
She said, "Here's all my chips. Give me the Coke.
he
Give me the
is
goodie."
just a server. How is he paying for how is he letting her have all of this? It's not
'Cause he was probably expecting the promise of
ah,
other services
yes.
that she
I
was
forgot
not
about
going to
them.
procure. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know. We don't know what happened in that car.
True. But yeah, I think you're right. I don't think she was feeling very confident and like I don't think she was gonna give him anything she didn't feel like giving him. So
Mm-mm. She was all about her, which is good. I mean, when you're cheated on and you get in a breakup, like, it needs to be all about you at this point.
mhm. Yes, yes.
So,
Although she may be taking it a bit far.
well, her vices are not the healthiest, unfortunately, so
Let's see. Sophie chases after Pippa. They take off in the wedding golf cart and get some alone time by the cows.
Sophie's like, "You know, I've been in love with you for the past 30 seconds. Let's get away." Like, what the fuck? I don't understand what they're doing, but okay. They go to the cows, they're talking. Pippa's, like, talking about her accomplishments. Like, can y'all just fuck? Like, couldn't it just have been like a Shane and a wedding planner thing? Like, let's just go fuck in the barn.
Yeah, why didn't they have them hook up?
I think that it was just like, "Oh, maybe we're opening up this storyline."
Yeah, I think yeah, they might have them have a actual real relationship. Yeah.
Oh god.
Do they have chemistry or is a little mentor mentee-ish? Is
It's yeah.
or
I
am I
mean,
being an ageist?
no, I think it could work, but just like knee-jerk reaction, I think we have the same reaction. It's just like they're like kind of on different levels of like life, right? That's I mean,
That's
that's
one
kind
way
of
to
how
put
I
it.
felt that's kinda how I felt at the beginning with Danny and Gigi. I was like, Danny's like this young, like, girl coming up in, like, the corporate world, and then Gigi's, like, divorced, she has 2 kids, like, regardless of age, just different places, like, in life. But,
Mhm.
and then that didn't work out, so I guess I was right. And, that's kinda
Should
how
we
I
all
feel.
blame you for their breakup? Because 'Cause you're gonna have a
Pl
lot of pissed off
please
people.
fucking no, because I don't need that. And also, I was shipping them from the beginning. We know this. So, it's not my
Okay.
fault, y'all, but, that's how I feel about kinda Pippa and Sophie. Although they're both successful, I feel like different places in their life.
Mhm.
But it's
Yeah.
possible. Who knows? You know who wasn't feeling it? That cow. That cow was homophobic. He said, "Stop it. Stop it, you gays." They were very homophobic.
Do cows smell? I don't know a lot about cows. Would that have smelled to, like, hang out by the
Yes,
cows?
because they
Okay.
shit, like, right there. You've not been to a farm before?
I have, I just can't remember specifically.
Yeah, it smells.
Okay.
Yeah.
been a minute.
Smells like shit. So it's not particularly romantic for like you to be kissing somebody
I'm here to dig deep, folks. Get the
into the
deep
cow shit.
information. Yeah. This is the important stuff people come for. So,
This is the hot topic.
yeah. The next character who shows up, again, not an OG, but an oldie that we know, not
Oh
a goodie.
God, an
The
oldie.
professor, kind of an oldie. The
Oh,
professor, Angie's professor, shows up. And I couldn't believe this was part of, I think, it like, okay, they took some of the time for them for more Professor Angie stuff.
what the fuck was Angie thinking? What is going on here on this day? This is the day that you want to do this? Start the drama? Oh, come to my parents' wedding. They fucking hate you.
Why didn't she help plan the wedding? Some people were asking.
Why did Bette and Tina leave the country and leave their daughter 5,000 miles away?
Tina's got to work. Tina
Yeah.
can't be leaving. The tables have turned, okay? It's not all about Bette's career anymore.
Oh, I've heard. And she does not miss LA whatsoever. Not even that her fucking daughter's there.
I know, right? She was like, no, she didn't even consider it for half a second. No.
Weren't even there for Thanksgiving, but that's neither here nor there. I'm still bitter about it. But yeah, why didn't she help them? I don't know. She's like really into herself. And obviously she's in her selfish era. I think what she might have skipped when you're supposed to go through, like when you're 15, 16, she's going through it now. Sometimes that happens. So she's going through her little bratty era.
Yes.
So
true.
it seems.
Yeah. But we see him and then he's gone before we know it. They break up within a couple of minutes.
I mean, why the fuck did he go to the wedding then? It's like, I tried to tell you, but you put the tux on me and then I ended up in this freezer. So like, here we are. I don't know.
Can you tell me what the point of this relationship was? Like, what are we supposed to take away from it?
That they hate us. Because I don't know either. We could have literally had like a whole season of her and Bella like falling in love or hooking up or whatever that could have been for over the course of 10 episodes, but we get this only for them to break up, right? The same thing. Mike and Maribel, all of that drama, all this marriage and proposals and donors, and I'm looking at donors for them to break up. Like, why put us through all of this?
Well, I believe Marcia Lewis Ryan admitted that was like what she thinks the show is, just putting people together, breaking them up, which isn't totally unjust to say, but God, I guess she's not going to keep any of them together.
Well, when you have only 10 episodes and then you're not even taking up 60 minutes for each, how many minutes do we have? And you want to bring in all these fucking new characters to take them out, like Joy Lauren Adams, like amazing. That would have been fucking dope if they ended up together. But like, spent 2 or 3 episodes on that for her to like be like, no,
that was pointless.
What the fuck? Yeah, waste my time, waste all of our fucking time.
Yeah. Speaking of Micah and Maribel, it's revealed that they haven't talked like at all about how the pregnancy and birth will affect Maribel.
I think they just met. I don't think they've ever had a conversation because they're engaged and they're planning to have a baby, right? They've bought the sperm in hand. And yeah, like not have the conversation about her abilities or her health. This never came across the table.
Devil's advocate, you would be surprised how poor some couples' communication is. And there are couples that will just go through major life decisions, not talk about the stuff they need to talk about.
That blows my mind. And so when she was like, this is when you choose to talk about this, I was like, yeah, this is the time. It wasn't before you got engaged, but before you moved in together. I don't know. But clearly this is all just red flags after red flags. You shouldn't be together. We shouldn't even forget the marriage, forget the baby. Like, we should not be dating if we're not gonna have already had talked about this. So
yeah, that's a pretty big deal to skip that kind of discussion.
Crazy.
Okay. We
open up the lesbians.
as we go further into We do get a Gigi mention, and we learn in this episode that in this world where we're not seeing her, but we are to know she's gotten engaged to Nat. I
Mhm.
still can't believe the way they wrote her off the show.
Sad, 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 sad. Yeah, it was very abrupt. We
Yeah,
fell in love, and then we got it ripped out of our arms, so
I was in love. I'll never get over, like, if we get a fourth season, I still won't be over Seppi leaving the show.
oh, no. She was just enigmatic, right? Just like you couldn't look away no matter what, and, she will definitely be missed. She made a really nice post on Twitter today.
I
Very
saw
sweet.
that. Yeah, what did she say? It was something like, I'll always, have Gigi as a special place or something like that.
Yes, and, like, thank you for,
Mhm.
all of you for everything. So, like, it's very sweet, and it's just, like, a testimony to, like, how she felt about the character as well, and
Mhm.
knowing how loved sh that character was. So but yeah, she's engaged to Nat. So, again, with the one sentence explanation of the disappearance of another.
But hey, no need to worry about her being engaged because Danny is going to chew a piece of gum and it is going to lead her to realizing she's magically over Gigi.
Yes, I've heard about that. Fucking never. What the hell? What the hell was that? She's like, "Gigi liked gum. I'm healed."
It was
Um,
so ridiculous. One of the most ridiculous scenes of Gen Q, period.
of television itself, because that was just, like, made up. It's like when superhero movies make shit up, like, "Oh, the
Yeah.
gum makes you over your ex." Okay. Remember, we're suspending belief, Amanda. My
Is
belief is dangling in the air very far away somewhere
what
suspended.
what superhero franchise I feel like there's one where they call the bad guy like the cube or something, and it's like nobody put any effort into the writing.
No, I don't know. I don't really like stuff like that. My wife was watching The Flash, which I don't know if you've ever seen that TV show.
Mm-mm.
Oh man, the writing is very interesting. It's similar to like, oh, like gum cured my
Right.
depression. It's just yeah. Sure. Okay.
It's so bad, it's
I
funny.
believe you.
Oh, okay. That quick cut we get to the forearm of the hot fire lady, where she was using some sort of an electric saw. Oh my god, I almost passed out.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was just a quick. They cut and then they zoom out as they're about to get Bette and Tina out. She's just got, we just get a nice shot of an in shape
Well, it seems to
fire
have
lady.
changed your life, so I need to check it. You're like, "It was only a minute, but let me describe fucking inch by inch. The drip is
I
dewy
mean,
sweat."
I framed a screenshot of it, so
Oh,
it's
it's
hanging on my
fucking
wall.
serious.
Yeah.
Yes.
How
Okay, I gotta check that out. I'm a sucker for a good arm.
have you found the return of Tasha in these 2 episodes?
Well, uh, everybody that follows me knows that, like, at first I was not with it. I was like, "This is very random." Like, we've never even spoken about her in these 3 seasons in Gen Q. Nobody has even uttered her existence or the memory of her. And then all of a sudden, she's your soulmate. So for me, I was just like, "This is just fucking random." I wasn't here for it. Blah blah blah. But then when I saw them together and, like, Alice was like, "This is so annoying. You're so annoying." And they're, like, banter back and forth. I was like, "Okay, yes, it's been many years since I've seen them together, and, I actually do like it." Yes. Tasha's the only one that can really put Alice in her place and is not, like, impressed at all by any of her accomplishments and is not starstruck at all and does not give a fuck who she is. So, I think that it took me a week, but I came around, and I like it.
Oh, so glad you came around. Welcome to the team because I have
I'm
always been
here.
team Tasha and Alice. They have so much chemistry. I cannot believe how easily Rose Rollins came back and just picked that role up. I was watching that because I wanted to remember the Daryl Brewer stuff from
Mhm.
episode 9, and so I was watching some of their scenes from the OG show, and it's the same. Like Rose Rollins, like that is Tasha. Like she I imagine that's not exactly easy to pick a character back up like that after it's been a long period of time.
Well, I think it's not only a testament to how wonderful of an actor she is, but also I know that the friendships that they fostered on the set of the original was, like, magical, and you can tell that they just all get along, and if they seem like friends on screen, it's because they're likely friends, like, backstage, right? And they just,
Yep.
like, can banter, and I think that's why, like, Shane and Alice just go so well because 'cause they're actually best friends in real life, and so, like, with Tasha coming in, it's like not a day has passed, and which
Yeah.
is fucking amazing. I was like, "I forgot I liked this. Thanks for bringing that back."
Yes. The opposites attract thing, you forget until you see it. It's
Mhm.
just chef's kiss
It
for
really
me.
is.
Okay, so Shade and the wedding planner, they're kind of going for round 2. A lot of people were mentioning this scene specifically because they were like, why is Shane asking questions about being poly? You know, how is this something she's just now thinking about? Isn't that something Tess brought up like 4 episodes ago? So, what did you take note of that?
Of course. I was like, "Oh, she's just starting to learn about these things." But then again, like, it also does check out because Shane doesn't know. Like, if you remember, like, Alice was talking about JoJo Siwa in the beginning of the season, and then Shane's like, "I don't know, like, half of the shit she fucking talks about." Like, Shane just, seems to me that person that doesn't know, like, personality, social media trends, like,
Mhm.
she don't know shit. She's probably like a boomer in, like, in a younger person's body, just, like, doesn't care about that shit. So, like, I can see her not really knowing what labels and things are, but I think when she, like, finally had somebody in her hands that, like, "Oh, we're poly, I can fuck whoever I want." Tess was like, "Wow, wait, this does work, maybe. You're onto something, girl." She was a little excited there. She just, "Oh, oh."
But I have a question. Would this is just me going off on a side tangent. If Shane and Tess had been in an open relationship, do you think their relationship would have worked?
No, because it would have been one-sided.
Mm,
It has to be everybody wants to be part of it, right? That's why Alice and Nat didn't work because she didn't really want that, and I don't think Tess really wanted that either. It's
true.
just it would have just been her, like, doing that so that they could be together, I don't know. But no, I don't think so. I
Okay.
think there's just people that are just, like, bachelorettes and bachelors for their life and just, like, be alone. You could be alone. There's nothing wrong with that.
Um, According to this show, there is because they end the show by with Bette and Tina going, "Oh, so sad. Our friends who aren't like us. I hope they can experience this one day too."
When did they say that?
No, I'm exaggerating. They're lying about how I hope our friends experience this one day too.
Oh, yeah,
Is
yeah.
it's a little bit like
Our poor friends, they'll never find love.
they'll never
Shane.
get to know. But meanwhile, their relationship has been an insane roller coaster ride filled with
I
toxicity.
mean,
So
I think the good thing about Bette and Tina being together is that they can't hurt anyone else anymore. That's just, like, what it
truth,
is. Just
truth.
poison each other, knit your fucking sweaters, and leave everybody alone.
Tess spots Shane with the wedding planner because Shane is not the most discreet person, as we learn from her hooking up with Ivy right next to the back door of Dana's, where Finn would see them, slash anybody could see them.
Yeah.
This kicks off a complete cocaine fueled meltdown with Tess running into the wedding cake. What did you think, meltdown wise? How would you rate this?
Oh, it's probably, I would say, a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Only because she interrupted, like, the fucking walking down the aisle that we've all been waiting. As soon as they're walking down the aisle, I hear Tess, and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? We can't just, like, just shut the fuck up for 1 second, just give us what we want." No. Yeah, 9 out of 10 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been some good meltdowns this season.
Yes.
Like Alice's meltdown a few episodes ago.
We love a good meltdown. We
Yeah.
all go through it, and when it's in front of other people on screen, it's funny. And I can see what you mean by the meltdown, like, in Bridesmaids, I see.
Yeah, when she goes crazy with
You
now in
think these girls are gonna eat
Yeah.
that fucking cookie? She
I
tries to
love
move the fucking fountain of chocolate.
yeah, she's throwing grass in. I love in that scene when she's like, "Who else was thinking that this was something lesbians do?" And Megan, what's her face is like,
McCarthy.
yeah, Megan McCarthy's like, "I was."
Yeah,
Um,
lesbians.
yeah. What's interesting about that sort of meltdown is I remember when I was taking writing classes at Second City, my teacher would always challenge us, don't have your character throw up. Don't just have your character be drunk. Don't always just have a guy come in with a gun. You know, try to get that sort of heightened level of energy without those sort of crutches. See, can and in the Kirsten Wig meltdown in Bridesmaids, or Kristen Wiig, sorry. She's stone cold sober in that. She is just raging pissed. And Tess is pissed in this too, but Tess is also like off her ass, like out of her
Super,
mind.
super drunk, super high, everything.
So it's interesting. I feel like in Gen Q, we rely a little bit more on things like getting people drunk, having people be on hard drugs. We have multiple characters on hard drugs in this finale.
It's kind of like, their go-to. It's been their go-to, which, as you say, like, it doesn't always have to be. People can have
Mhm.
mental breakdowns just out of depression, anxiety, a breakup, stuff like
Mhm.
that. Like, Tess could
Yeah.
have had this whole meltdown without any substance.
Yes, that's what I'm wondering is I almost would have loved to see Tess do this, maybe even if they don't want to take away Bette and Tina time in the finale, have her do this a few episodes ago, or if you want to put in this episode, fine. But she doesn't have to be off her ass. Like she's justified with the
Yeah, she
cheating.
could have thrown that bottle stone cold sober.
Yeah, like I used to tell my wife all the time, like, I will set your whole world on fire if you cheat on me, like
I mean, yes, I've literally soberly been destroyed and started crazy scenes over exes in the past. Like,
yeah.
you
I've
don't.
almost been murdered from a friend of mine whose ex thought we were together,
Oh
and
no,
she wasn't drunk, she wasn't on anything. So yeah, you don't have to. I mean, we are lesbians. You don't have to have the drugs and stuff. You could do it without.
100%. It's super easy, super easy.
Speaking of crazy, Tess goes from "you effing killed my mother" to sarcastic, "yes, I'm drunk. You'd have to be to put up with all your shit." Just some
True.
amazing lines in there.
Um, I didn't even really notice that because I think when she said you killed my mother, I just was like, what the fuck? I was like, she invited you to her mansion and your mother and the caretakers in and out and the doling out pills and feeding and this and that. If I was Shane, I'd been like, "Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself." Like, are you absolutely you killed my mother. I think that was more like Tess feeling guilty that she killed her mother. Even though she didn't.
Ooh,
She might feel that
interesting.
way, like, because she let her mom go to the home, and then all of a sudden she dies the next day. That's what it seemed
Yeah,
like.
that was so crazy. We went super fast from "my mom doesn't wanna live with us anymore" to "my mom died." Oh my god.
You may wanna look into that.
Yeah.
Where did you bring her?
Yeah, what home did Tess put her in? Oh my god.
Finley, probably.
Um, Speaking of Finley, Finn chases after Tess like a scorned lover.
Mhm.
Um, my wife thought this scene was over the top. I was like, "Ah, it's the L word. Of course it's over the top." Do you think they're teasing a little bit of a Finn Tess thing?
Well, they have hooked up before, and also that whole episode in the beginning, Tess, like, was like, "You're so cute. You're so
Oh,
cute."
yes.
And then Finley's like, "I love you." And it's like it's weird because it's like, almost like motherly, because she kinda looked up to Tess and
Mhm.
Shane as, like, parents, and then now that they're, like, not together anymore, it kinda seems like she's attracted to Tess. I don't know, it's fucking weird. But, um, yeah, I think that if we get another season, they were kind of opening it up to that, if Tess is still alive.
Yeah, if we get a 4th season, I wonder if they'll it seems like Jamie Clayton really enjoys being on the show, so I would think that they would have her live and bring her back, but
Is that what you think? They would have her stay because she likes it? Is that is
I
that
feel
the
silly now.
Oh, you're so silly. Um, I would love to see where that would go. Because I can see them, like, getting together and, like, her trying to make Shane jealous and Shane, like, not giving a fuck.
A
But
la Carmen
I
and Jenny.
yeah, but I do think that she's dead.
Oh, you think she's dead? I mean, I started seeing rumors that they were gonna kill just a character off in the finale, and I don't know where that came from, but, um, so if the rumors are true, yeah, then Marjorie Lewis Ryan wanted to kill somebody off, and it ended up being Tess, so,
Yeah, I believe she's gone. Only
okay.
because, well, something that Marja said recently kind of, like, made sense to, like, oh, like, she's fine with killing off characters, like, nonchalantly,
Are you talking
and
about when she thought Dana getting killed off was the right decision?
yes,
Oh my
in that,
goodness.
when she said, "That is correct." I said, "Oh, she's saying that because she knows that she's killing somebody off, and so she has to agree with that because she really wants to be justified in that decision, right?" But also, some like, I was talking to people in my comments, like, "Oh, like, I don't know," like, somebody said, "If it's the cops calling you, the person's dead. If it's somebody who's alive, the hospital
Ooh.
will call you to be like, 'Come.'" So, I don't know if they're really
Right.
thinking that deep, and, who
Yeah, do
knows?
they care about those types of details on
I
this
don't
show? I
know.
don't know.
I don't know. So, I guess we'll have to find out.
And, listeners, if you're wondering, we're talking about, Jess Rothschild, hot takes and deep dives. She interviewed Marcia Lewis Ryan.
Excellent
Yeah,
interview. Go listen to it.
check that out, check that out.
Sure.
Okay, in the middle of the meltdown, we did have the reveal of Bette and Tina in their wedding outfits. What are your thoughts on their outfits?
Pajamas, underwhelming. I thought you were hot, bitch. Like, you're so hot, you're putting on a velvet suit.
Yeah, Tina's in particular, that too looked straight out of Kohl's, the maroon velvet, and then the why the need to cover the cleavage up? Was somebody a mother figure there like, "No, not to show too much cleavage on the day of your wedding?" What?
Well, like you said, Bet was hoarding the Kohl's cash. So, oh, babe, let's get matching velour, like velvet pajamas. And don't worry that you are very hot. This will make it worse, but it's okay. No, I guess it's they're way past the point of like wearing like a dress, right? Or
I would have
dresses.
thought Tina might have wore a white dress. Am I
Sh
being are we being heteronormative, like, old fogey,
No, because I wore a dress to my wedding.
Okay.
So did my wife, but I think that, like, meaning they've broken up and divorced and married so many times that it's like, like, we're not gonna fucking go all out this time, like, this is it is what it is, Masha, like, kind of like that's kinda what it felt like.
But you didn't so what did you think of Bette's outfit? I thought Bette looked hot.
I mean, Bette is always hot, but that's just bias.
Mm,
Her hair was her hair. Shane did their hairs.
yeah.
She kinda did
Yeah.
their hair in the way she did Kehlani's hair. She's like,
She just, like, ran her hands through it.
"Wow, look at the difference."
Okay,
Um
but your hair does look good right now, Nicole, okay?
Oh,
So
thank
that was
you.
something.
No, but I mean, honestly, just Bet always looks gorgeous, and, if we can we talk about their speeches?
Let's do it. Let's talk about them.
It's my understanding, at least for Jennifer Beals, that she wrote them, which, like, oh my god, when she said, "Tina Kennard, your name still gives me butterflies." Like, I just got goosebumps fucking
Okay.
thinking about it because I think that's just so beautiful. Because you think of, like, all the years of her being apart from Tina, like, anytime anybody would bring Tina up, she was always just like, "Who she with? It's so true. Like, she was just always Tina, Tina, Tina. Even when she was with other people, like, it was always Tina in the corner of her mind. So, like, I thought that was very beautiful.
Yeah, she says, "From the moment we met, my soul has burned brighter because of you," to Tina.
That's a fact.
Beautiful words. And then with Tina, did you like how Tina was kind of like, it wasn't a joke, but the crowd was it like LOL when she was like, "You're my first, second, and third love."
Um, if we are going with that story, right? Because I heard that there's other stories. I don't know if you know about the interrogation tapes.
Oh, I know about the interrogation tapes.
Right, so if we're gonna put that in, but we're not really supposed to know that, right? Because those were, like were those deleted from, like, the L Word or
Well, supposedly Marge Lewis Ryan writes Gen Q like the 6th season didn't happen at all. So I'm
okay.
sure she's not watching the interrogation tapes.
You don't know that?
Okay, maybe she is.
I don't know. But, okay, so then, I thought that, Tina's speech was underwhelming compared to Bette's. Bette's was more, like, loving and, like, really, like, made me wanna cry, and Tina's not really so much, but then again, Tina's not ever been so, like, eloquent with her words as far as, like, expressing her feelings and being, like, affectionate, so that was always kind of like Bette's forte,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, Bet's more a little bit more of the artist,
mhm,
in the
mhm,
show, which is
exactly.
different from real life where
Yeah,
we're
they're
all
like
hauling
flip-flop.
yeah. What did you think of having Alice be the officiant? I saw some people didn't like this online.
I thought that was on brand.
Me too, I thought
I
it was great.
Perfect. Because they needed somebody last minute, right? They
Mhm.
planned this yesterday, and you really can get ordained in a day. My wife did that, and she married her 2 friends, so I know it to be true, and I think it was really funny when she was like, "By the power vested in
Yes.
me," but,
We got a
uh,
funny Alice line, yeah,
we need it. We always need a good Alice line.
yeah.
It just cuts the tension or cuts the serious moment back to like, "Okay, we're having fun now," so I loved
Mhm.
it. Y'all are haters.
I loved it too. I was like, "Okay, at that point, if you're complaining about Alice announcing them, Alice is great. Anything Alice does, I'm here for.
Literally,
Come on."
anytime.
What did you think about the music they chose overall for everything, like the dance scenes or the music behind them coming down the aisle and stuff?
Ah, man, this is really embarrassing because I'm a musician and a music teacher and all that. I really did not notice the music. If you can refresh my memory, was there anything like
There
specific?
was nothing popular. I didn't recognize anything. They were playing, like, kinda 60s style,
Oh, yes, yes.
oldies type music.
I liked that. I did like that. It was a little gives it like a little romantic feel. It gives a black and white feeling, right?
Mhm.
That's how I do remember that song. I don't remember who it was, but I do remember, and it was like, okay, yeah, this kind of seems like this style of music that would be at Ben and Tina's wedding at this point.
M'kay. We get, I already talked a little bit about the soap opera moment at the end with Danny, Roxy, and Dre.
Yes.
Pretty effed up because Danny calls Dre, confesses her love 3 times, and then Dre shows up and Danny's all up in Roxy's mouth.
Well, you know that Danny has no recollection of this phone call.
I know, right?
She really, she was
Does she get a
like,
pass?
she was like, oh, I love
That
you.
was
I love,
hilarious.
yeah.
Sniffing the flowers and stuff.
Amazing, amazing. And, you know, Roxy being the great friend was like, "Alright, put your phone away." But she didn't hang it up in time, and so now, yes, she invites her other boo over, and we got 2 boos here at one wedding.
Yeah.
What do we do?
High drama, high drama.
Peak
Um,
drama.
let's see. Yeah, then we have Bet and Tina walking off into the sunset. We didn't get a Tasha and Alice kiss. I will complain about that.
I
If
will
this is
also
our
complain.
last chance we get to see Alice and Tasha, I'm disappointed without the kiss.
Yeah, I really expected that fully, but I don't know what the decision was there. You can't blame COVID. What are we gonna blame?
I wonder if they were thinking less is more, leave them wanting more, give us another reason to have a 4th season. I don't know.
No, that's wrong. That if that's the thinking, no, we would like a kiss. We barely got any sex this whole season, like,
I
give us a fucking kiss.
know. I know. This show, the OG show did women loving women sex scenes so well. And I
Yes.
feel like that's something that like, very well-known open secret in the lesbian community is like, if you want to find content, adult content, it's terrible from a lesbian's perspective. And
Of
so this
course,
show,
yeah.
they do those types of things well. And this season, you're right. It hasn't been
Like, if
great.
you can watch this in your parents' living room and not be like this, then it's not enough sex. Because you can probably watch Gen Q like that all the way through and not be, like, worried who's gonna walk in. The original? Oh my god. I'd be like, "Oh my god." is my mom coming? It's like titties and bush and everything. And you're like, okay.
Titties and bush.
Like, if you can watch this, like, without being nervous, who's gonna walk into the room?
Well, they
Just
love to show Shane, bending some lady over. They do
always.
like to go to that.
I guess that, Kate Manning is, like, all about the, like, yeah, sure, nudity all the time. So, like, all right, it's gonna be you, like, every time.
Blame her. Did you see her arms in the episode where she's dancing with Finn
Of
DePony?
course, that was the first thing I noticed. Sweat, oily, dewy. Oh my god, the muscle I don't even know what these muscles are called, but
Gym rat. Kate
ooh,
Minnick is just in the gym, just like, "I gotta keep looking hot. I just gotta keep being Shane," and she is accomplishing it.
I was never, like, one that was, like, attracted to Shane, but this season I was like, maybe, maybe, daddy."
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so I'm a little bit of a tomboy. I am always torn between wanting, being into Shane and being like, "Okay, Shane's hot," but mostly I wanna be
You wanna
Shane.
be her, you wanna be
Yeah,
in her,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
changes.
so,
I mean, that makes sense.
yeah. But we get Ben and Tina. They say, "I hope our friends get to feel this one day." Yeah, they deserve it. If this is the last episode ever of Generation Q, are you satisfied by it? I kind of already asked you that earlier, but I'm putting you on the spot again.
If it is, then yes, because they're married and we've got, like, a conclusion. Could it have been better? Yes. But I think that it could end here and things would be fine and make sense.
Will you be sad if we don't get a fourth season?
Of course, of course.
I mean, people, fans of the show have been calling. They're like, "Don't give us a fourth season." There are people in the fan base who want it canceled.
I am not one of those people. I'm personally not into movies because movies you get this character for like what, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then it's over. But characters in a show, you can know them for years and decades, and these are characters I've known for years and decades. So for me, it's like these are friends that I won't get to see anymore if we don't get another season. So it does make me very sad if this is it, and if there's more, yay. But I think that there's also, like, more characters that we kind of have at least I've fallen in love with, like, Danny, I love. Like, I'm
Big
sold.
Danny stan.
Yeah, I love, like, her character. I feel like there's so much more to learn about her and see what she does. Like, even Sophie now, like, being single, so interesting. I think there's so many stories that could be told, right? And I would love to see them.
I
That's what I
agree.
think.
I would like a fourth season as well.
Please.
Is if there's anything you would have done different about this finale episode, what do you have anything specific in mind you would have done?
I think just more, intimate conversations between Bette and Tina. I think we got, like, one, which was, like, in the freezer, and it
Mhm.
was very rushed and
It was quick.
quick. But just more of, like, them talking about like, we've had, like I remember in the OG, like, as, like, the seasons were coming to a close, we had them talking in the elevator about, like, what makes them so, compatible and going to just all these things, like, I would love to hear what they have to say about this journey that they went through. There's more, like, conversation between them to give us more closure, I suppose.
Okay. More closure.
Yeah,
Well, I think that regardless of whether we get a fourth season, I do believe my understanding is that's it for Bet and Tina. That's like the book on them.
that's what it seems
So,
like.
as you said, though, we did get to see them get married. We saw them walk down the aisle. We saw them dance for a little bit. We saw, the OGs that have been a part of Gen Q get to watch them, and that was, really beautiful.
Yeah. It would have been cool to have some OG characters there that we haven't seen.
Who would you have liked to see most?
Helena.
Yeah, yeah, Helena.
Oh, man. Especially because she was, like, such a good friend of theirs, so, like, you don't hear about her ever, so it's just, like, strange. I wish they would even just, like, refer to her.
I
Be like,
know, just like bring her up.
"Yeah, like, she's
Yeah,
in the UK, she can't come." So, like, "Oh, yeah, she's doing her thing." Hmm.
right. I was thinking if they could have gotten Peggy, if they could get Holland Taylor somehow, that would have been like dream come true
And then
too.
somehow we'll get Sarah Paulson just, like, by
Right?
default, like,
Just she's gotta somehow show up with Holland
she's
Taylor.
the liquor distributor.
Yes. Yes.
Easy. See,
That would
I've
have been
solved it. We
perfect.
coulda gotten her in that episode too.
Yeah, those would have been some good some good
Here's your
appearances.
Aperol for the Aperol Spritz.
I was dying with those lines because I'm obsessed with Aperol Spritzes, and so
But
I
it was
was
all
like,
about the, ad placement. I don't know if you noticed when, I think it was when Finley walks in,
she's
it's a
got the
box
box.
of Aperol. Like,
Oh,
it was
I
all
did
about
notice, but
yeah.
not that. I didn't notice it the way you noticed it. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's the stuff I like to drink."
It's like the
You're right.
Gucci
How much
Adidas.
money?
The Gucci Adidas.
Yes.
I noticed the shit out of that,
Oh
so
yeah, the Gucci Adidas. That to have some Gucci Adidas of my own, that would be
that one particular suit that,
dreams.
Alice was wearing was loved it.
I keep in my reaction videos, I keep playing this like slow-mo like every week of Alice in the Gucci Adidas because it's just like continues to blow my mind of how awesome it is.
What blew my mind was that she chose to continue to clean up after Shane's sex party in that outfit.
I
Like,
know,
just
take off the Gucci Adidas.
take that off or put on an apron, some PPP or PPP
Get one of those white suits on.
PPE.
PPP.
Put on a smock, girl, like,
Get one of those NASA suits that they wear to the moon because you know there was lots of stuff going on there.
lots of fluids everywhere.
Oh, that was such a funny moment throughout the season.
It was on brand. It was on
Yeah.
brand for Shane.
Well, any other thoughts on episode 10 or on Gen Q as a whole?
I mean, as Gen Q as a whole, I'm glad if this is the end, right? I'm glad we got it, right? It was up to these OG characters, I think, really to get it started and get the ball rolling. So I'm forever thankful to them. Or otherwise, we would have never gotten any of these stories or closure, any conclusions. For the most part, I enjoyed it. Of course, there's going to be things that we all disagree with, we didn't like. But I'm happy that we had it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy that we got a Bette and Tina wedding. We got to see it, we got to watch it, we got to experience the whole thing. And I'm satisfied as I can be, I suppose.
Very well said. I have similar thoughts. I remember learning that the reboot was going to happen and just being like really excited because of course I thought like the show was gone for, for good
Forever, yeah.
and it coming back as you said it's not perfect, but even this season where I've been like shitting on it all season, there's so many high moments. Like we got to see Max happy again, and like you said, we got to watch Bette and Tina get married. Seeing Angie grown up throughout the
Oh,
reboot has been really fun.
that was like the thing I was most excited about when I knew this was coming back. I was like, oh my God, Angie. And I did the math and I was like, she's going to be like 17, 18. Like, this is
Yep.
going to be great. Like, that really was one of the selling points for me. And of course, just to see Bette again. Any excuse to see Bette.
Yeah, right.
Anything.
Yeah, so I'm really happy and grateful for the show. I do hope we
Same.
have something come up. As much as I'm grateful for every independent made project, film, whatever, it I hope we have something high budget that comes up and replaces it. I hope like A League of Their Own gets renewed. I know
Yes.
we've had a ton of shows get canceled lately, so that's what I'm hoping for.
I'm hoping, and this is just, I'm making this up, but I know Paramount bought Showtime, right? I'm just hoping that Paramount says, "Oh, we have this like show around lesbians and we need to tick that box. So let's tick that box and keep it." I'm just like
Mhm.
praying that if that is like anything that could help us like just keep the show going just for the fear fact of like they need it. Um I'll take it. So that's what I'm kind of just
Yeah,
praying
I'm
for.
hoping too. I'm hoping for that as well because it does offer a very unique slice of the demographic. And so if you listen to people like Ash Silver, she talks about how the streaming platforms care about people signing up. They're
Mhm.
not necessarily as focused on ratings. And I think if this went to, I already subscribed to Paramount Plus because I'm a huge Survivor fan, but if this moved to Paramount Plus, it would make me subscribe to Paramount Plus. I would,
Yes, I
You
do
know?
subscribe because I love Drag Race and there's a lot of Drag
Oh,
Race
yeah,
on there.
yeah.
But the one thing I would like to say, and we can put this out there, is that a lot of fans outside of the United States cannot watch the show, and they would be willing to subscribe and pay their actual money to watch a show if it was given it was an option, but it's not even an option in most of the other countries. They cannot watch it, and it doesn't air until months later. Like, it's my understanding that it really won't air in the UK until, like, I don't know now. And I have a lot of people always asking me, like, in Brazil and South Africa and Africa and Ghana and all these other countries, and they're like, there's no way to see it legally.
Do you know how, like, rights work and stuff like that? Like, I was even thinking when you started talking about this, about how I've seen a lot of movies and stuff in the headlines because, like, for instance, China doesn't want gay representation in their media. They want streaming platforms to censor that type of stuff. So
Mhm.
I do you know anything about how all that works?
I don't, and I'm sure it has a lot to do with that, but also, just my plea to these companies and, like, these production companies is like, these people wanna spend their money. Just let them fucking watch the show. You want subscriptions, they will subscribe. These people in other countries. So figure out the copyright or whatever it is, and you will get your subscribers, right?
That's a good
So
point. The show has people worldwide who want to watch, and I sometimes forget about how lucky we are that we live in America, and it's something we don't even have to think about. So,
yeah, tons of my, people who watch my recaps, and I recap the episodes as soon as they air at midnight, right? And a lot of people watch my recaps because they have no access to the show. And so everything that they're seeing is only through my lens. And that's sad because I'm like, they should have the opportunity to watch the episode on their
mhm.
own. So that would be my plea. Let these people spend their money. You want it? I know you want it. Come get it.
Come on, Paramount Plus, come
Give me
on.
quicker than that.
Let
Let's
people
go.
give you their money.
They do. They tell me, like, if I could subscribe, I would. So let's do that.
Interesting. Well, I hope
Mm.
they're able to work that out so more people can watch and so that we can watch a potential 4th season. Cross your fingers.
Crossing my fingers and my titties because I really am hopeful.
Cross your tits, everyone. Get
Everybody
them
cross your
crossed.
titties.
All right. Well, I want to thank my guest host, Nicole. Make sure you are subscribed to her YouTube channel, Nicole Reacts Up. That is going to be in the description. Also, catch her on Instagram at Nicole Reacts Up. That's linked as well. Also, making really fun and entertaining TikToks. That's Nicole Reacts Up 3. So find all of those linked in the description. Also, Nicole has a nice link tree with all of the merch links and everything there centered. So that'll be there as well. Thank you so much for coming on. We did it.
Thank you for having me. This was a blast. I hope I see
Yes.
more of you soon.
You were so fun to recap. I would love to have you back. I'm hoping for a 4th season, but if not, some other gay show.
There's so much gay shit out there. Let's do it.
Yes,
I love
yes.
it.
All right, folks, make sure you stay subscribed wherever you listen or watch. This certainly won't be the last episode I cover. Even if the show's not on the air, I'll have like future special deep dives and lists, things like that. So in the meantime, make sure you stay subscribed to LezCast wherever you watch or listen. And I will see you next time.
Take care, guys.